Hey, so I've noticed that we have never done a van tour video, and I enjoy watching those, so I guess I owe everybody a van tour video on what actually ended up being the finished product of the van and what are we using. And so we're at a bike race, the whole team, and we're all injured. So it's a good time to make a van video because we don't live full-time in the van, but we do live in the van when we're at the races. So that being said, I'm going to hand over my camera to my trusty assistant, and we're going to go walk through the van.
Oh, I can't see with it. Okay. He's limping.
I guess we'll start with the outside, right? We put motion windows in. They have, you know, the sliding screens. Kind of standard procedure for the sprinters and the vans. Dodge, Promaster. You basically go to their website, type in what van you have, and you can order them. We have the little one on the other side, right up here, which is right above our mattress. So we kind of have good air circulation because we can just open this a little bit and then have a max vent fan behind our solar shower, and then we can suck the air through this little window and have our sleeping area kind of cool down. So that works out good. Yeah, solar shower, we have a separate video for that. I'll put a link in for that, how that works. It's about 7 gallons of water in a black pipe that gets heated by the sun, and yeah, that's how we shower.
Pressurized?
Yep. Going inside, actually not going inside yet. Got a little table here, so when we're like, I don't know, barbecuing, drinking, getting ready for races, there's another extra surface area. It's just an easy setup. Alright, so moving to the inside, let's start from the front. So we always have those, we didn't make those ourselves, the silver, like insulated, reflective window coverings. We bought those and they're definitely worth it. And then we have the swivels on the seats. Obviously you have to, you know, move it forth to get it swiveled. We have our like the storage up here. We have a pole, we have a blackout curtains up there, and our table for this is basically mounted right here, and then it just pulls out as such. And then I did make the counter the same, like exactly the height of our kitchen counter, so that when we're cooking we can basically make this like an L-shaped kitchen, and it gives you extra counter space. And then you can also, when you're done and you want to eat, you swivel it this way, and then 2 people can sit there, eat comfortably. So we have, between the table, this little working space, and this counter space, we have a lot of counter space. Did I say counter space enough?
4 times, yeah.
All right. Yeah, this has been really good. I thought about that it was too long and too much leverage, so I did pop one of these spaces once. Like if you put too much pressure on it, they'll pop. So I had to replace that once. But so far so good. And then that just goes away without killing the dog. She does not care. And it's fine. Max air fan, or max vent, whatever it is called. Basically, you know, like everybody else has it. It has a setting where it turns on at a set temperature. You can extract or you can suck in the air, which is actually good in the winter when all the heat is up here and all the cold is down by your feet. You just reverse the whole thing and just push the hot air down. That's been good. Domatic fridge. Don't ask me what size. Well, you can ask me, I could look it up, but I don't know by heart right now. That's been working out really good. 12-volt fridge. It's got the freezer up there. We did build a extra deep drawer here, so we can like put honey and sugar. Like this drawer has been really a lifesaver because you don't want to just put silverware in there. It's a nice thing to have, a deep drawer. Then we got our spices here. We got the 110 volt. That's basically to get this fired up. We have a remote on this side over here. So we got our Victronic battery monitor, and then our inverter charger remote switch, and that is all located in the back. So then once this fires up, goes through a cycle. Right now it's on. We have power at the outlet. We have power 110 in the back in the garage. There's another outlet. We have a compressor that's on 110. That's all firing up. So just by the flick of one switch, we basically got the whole system going. We got 200 watts of solar on the roof. And then since we're already over here, this is all pots and pans and cooking stuff, and it's really big. It's deep. Like our biggest pots go in there. There's bottles of olive oil. This is all cooking. There's a cooking cabinet. Got not just a gas, but it's a propane gas detector that's permanently wired basically into the battery, so that if there is a propane leak, which there shouldn't be, this will give us a warning while we're sleeping. This little guy here is where our toilet sleeps. So we have it just sitting on a towel, so you can pull this out. It's just a regular porta potty, nothing fancy, and then it just hides away, and it doubles as a seat. Moving to this side, where we have garbage can. We got 3 6-gallon tanks, so we got basically 12 gallons of fresh, and then 6 gallons of waste. And it's very easy to replace them. And then also in the winter, when I want to winterize this, if I'm not going to heat the van for a while, it's very quick just to pull out the water. I don't have to deal with winterizing much. Our pump is there. There's an expansion tank, and then there's also some valvage where I can shut off. I have basically a faucet, like a hose outlet in the back in the garage. That's how we fill our solar shower. We basically use our pump to pump water to the roof to fill up the 7 gallons, whatever that is, on the roof. So we don't have to drag the water up, we just pump it to the roof. Also, pump switch is right here. So then we have basically, you turn that, is that on now? That's off. Turn that on, you got the water. These holes right here is all for our heat. This is one of the heating ducts. So we have a, who makes it? It's a propane furnace. So hot air, propane furnace. There's one heating duct here. Then actually, if you look a little deeper down there, there's another heating duct down there. So we're trying to heat up the floor because the heat rises automatically anyway. So we're trying to direct the heat as much as possible down, which seems to be working out pretty good. Another storage area here, which what do we have in here? We mainly have in here dog food, and we put in club soda. And then also, if you look all the way down in there, there's a battery, and it's a 200 amp gel battery, 200 amp hour gel battery, but the space in front of it is actually exactly the same space than the battery, so I could actually easily double up batteries, and I could have 400 amp hour batteries. And I built it this way because I didn't know if that was enough power, and it is. We don't really run out, and we actually, we use a lot of power. I mean, we don't have electric water heater or none of those things. Got just a 12 volt outlet, some USB, chargers that are all hooked into the battery here. And then this is a really nice feature at night. We have some rope lights that are basically covered by the bed, the lip. So this light will only shine down. So if somebody is sleeping up there, you can have a light on that just shines down, so the person that sleeps up there doesn't get woken up or disturbed too much. And it's on a dimmer. Then you move this water bowl. This right here is where all the I mean, this is basically our access into the garage. So this is where the furnace, all the bikes, all the propane tank, the mechanicals, the electrical, that's where all that lives. And we have access from the back and the front this way. So, you know, it's nice when you have like dirty clothes, or if you need to get to something, you can a lot of times reach through. Right now it's really packed because we're having we're at a cyclocross race, and we have three bikes and a whole lot of wheels with us. Cabinets, you know, we fill these up. These are like usually like the hard goods, like the plates and, you know, coffee maker, and, you know, besides this one over here for pots and pans. All our food supplies, you know, bread, cereal, juice, whatnot. And then there's another cabinet. So this is a short van. It's like a 136 Promaster, so it's like the short, tall one. Then I got another cabinet here. There's like, sometimes when I work out of this place, I have my printer, laptop, computer in here, but this time I'm just using it for like helmet and whatnot. Most of the times we live out of bags because it's just easy to move it in and move it out. It's not like you don't have to put stuff away. We did build these shallow cabinets where our head is. So it's a little bit of a, like if I sleep here side to side, I have to kind of tuck my head in there. I've hit my head a little bit, which is also, that's not too bad, but I rounded all these edges. So I was kind of aware when I built that this might be a problem. So all the corners on all the shelves are all routed. They're basically all rounded so that when you do hit your head on anything, it's not gonna just cut you. Basically all the outside pieces are oak and then routed. So, and then we built these cabinets. They're just deep enough to hold like a water bottle. We got our like race food here. Yeah, this is also where our thermostat is for the heat, so we can control the heat. Light switch, that's on a dimmer. That works already good. Then back here is another cabinet. There's like usually camera stuff or any electronics that go in there. This space I fought for really hard because usually nobody does anything, so we put an open shelf in here for, you know, you put your sunglasses, your battery lights, there's some doggy bags, toilet paper. There's a thermostat that tells you outside, inside temperature. So we basically tried to maximize the space in this whole thing. Now, back there we have another reading light, which also serves as an outside light. So when we have the outside with the doors open and I needed to work on the bike outside at night, I can basically direct this light to go shine anywhere. Then this is that window we were talking about before, which between having this cracked open and the fan on, you know, on, sucks the air out, and then when it gets really hot, we actually have an extra fan here that's hardwired in. So definitely getting that air movement through the van is key. And yeah, that's been working out. I mean, as long as it's not humid. Once it's humid, it's all over anyway. But if it's not humid, we have a really good air movement. Got 6 LED puck lights up here. They don't really draw any power at all. They're great. And then I think that's the front of the van. I think we'll go to the garage, and that's it.
would outlive that.
Move it around. Alright, this is basically where we customized everything around. Like, I gotta ask, how did I figure out how to build this thing? And the way I figured it out is I put my bike in and I built everything around my bike. So if you look at, so we have again more lights in here. So we have a light switch from the inside, a light switch from the back. We basically built everything around my bikes, which are the tallest bikes that are going here, with the seat full height. Like, I don't have to take the seat post out, which is different than if you were to have a dropper seat post on a mountain bike. So that's why also we don't have the pull-out drawers that you see in all these fancy videos, because if you're making a drawer that pulls out, you're gonna have to use another, you're gonna waste basically another 1.5 to 2 inches on the drawer mechanism, which brings this again up another 1.5 inches, which means I'm already pretty tight as far as from bed to ceiling goes. So you gotta, you know, split the difference somewhere. So we're like, we're not gonna build a pull-out drawer. We're just gonna make it that the bikes fit in with the seat posts all the way in. So let's pull this out. You get to it, I mean, you get to all the stuff pretty quickly. So it's not like a big deal to not have a pull-out drawer. What I want to get to is all mechanicals really quick. Let me pull this last bike out too quick. So, like I said, all the bikes come out really easily, really fast, even without the drawer. It felt like a little bit of a, you know, it wasn't really needed. I didn't feel like I needed it, so I didn't build it. Well, let's work our way over from this side. What we have in here is, I didn't want to mount a propane tank underneath, because I wanted to not have to find an RV place for refilling all the times. I wanted to go to anywhere gas station and just exchange it. So it's got the regulator, you know, to pressure regulate for the furnace and for the stove. There is a hole down in there that's vented to the floor. So if there's ever a leak, it would just leak down. This is sealed, there's a gasket around it. And this is also doubles as a mount for what is it?
Compressor?
That's right, compressor, which uses a couple, you know, I mean, it's so nice to have a real full-size, you know, 110 volt. Obviously, the inverter has to be turned on for this to work, but we can reach all our 4 tires with it. We can, obviously, we use it mainly for bike tires. You know, if you set up tubulars, you need like real pressure. And then also we use the compressor to pressurize our solar shower. So it's a three purposes for this. This is why I went for a full-size compressor and not just one of those 12-volt little car plug-in ones. Then all our solar shower stuff, I'll put I'll put a link in the video for the solar shower. It's a whole nother episode. That's a floor mat with the valve that gets put out, and then this right here is our hookup. We plug in the hose and plug in into the solar shower. That's how we pump the water up. And then this basically right here fits all our bike tools. We got extra tubes, tires, spare parts, all the tools. I got a camera stand here. I got more bike parts back there. So it was kind of like all these things got built around the things that I had. Like I had this tool crate, so I was like, it would be nice if this would fit right in there. So I built it around that. This is our, it's Suburban. there it is, Suburban furnace. And there's another, so this is another heating duct, so it blows the heat down this way. And then also it blows heat around here. I built a little mini duct, goes down, and then, ooh,
Oh, it's like a plenum.
a plenum, yep. And then pushes it. This is right behind the toilet area. And then if I open this is basically a front. And there's a light switch for the other side, for the, like from the front. Where is it? Right there, exactly. This might actually be better now. So, in this door, hinges both ways. So I can permanently leave this open. So because we do have paddleboards and kayaks, so when we want to just take those, we'll just stick them through, and we don't have to fight the door. And there's also, if I wanted to leave it open the other way, I have basically one of those stops. I can open it, flip that down, and have it swing out the open way. I just wanted the most versatile door and garage bay area possible.
Yeah,
this is also an interesting feature that I haven't seen in many vans. So this is where the flapper valves are usually, that every car and van has. So when you close the door, the air gets puffed out right underneath the fender. It's basically right underneath the plastic fender on the outside. So I thought it was a good idea to keep that as a ventilation option. So I can open and close this. Obviously in the winter I keep it closed, but in the summer I can have it open. And even with all my windows shut, the fan on, I'm sucking in air from here, basically the furthest point away from the fan, through the van out. So I have like always the best circulation throughout the van, because this is basically an opening behind the fender. I got my shore power. So we got an inverter that's also a charger. So if you wanted to plug into shore power, we can do this and charge our battery really quickly. I have never had to do it. The 200 watts have been sufficient to charge our stuff quickly. We got another 110 here. And this, so the amount of money that you spend on electrical equipment, and then also the kind of stuff we put in back here, I wanted to protect basically the biggest investment, which is all inverter, charger, all the electrical. So I basically found a spot to mount it all and then protect it with this lid. I have it vented, so it's open to the top, vented from the bottom, so it never overheats. But this is where all the stuff lives, basically. So I got my MPPT charge controller, the 30 amp, that basically controls the 200 watt. And whatever happens from the 200 watts on the solar on the roof down to my battery.
And you could access that from the front, this battery.
I can access this from the front too, exactly, and I could basically double up this battery as well.
Right, that's that compartment from the front.
Right, right. And all of this is where my solar comes in from the roof right here, and then it goes to the solar charge controller and goes to the 12-volt panel. I got my 110 shore power breaker box. Yeah, this is it's a 2000 watt inverter charger, and all the fuses, all the kerfuffle in between. It took a bit to figure it all out, but it was important for me to fit it as flush and cleanly on this wall so that we can put a lid on it and keep it safe. And I can throw my bikes in the back, and I don't care if something bangs against it, so it's safe. And yeah, so close that, and I have to close this, close the lid, and I really don't ever have to go in there. I really don't. I mean, why would you? Got a fire extinguisher, got the bike mounts for all the different options, mountain bike, road bike, through axle, non-through axle, same here. Like the road bikes or drop bar bikes are usually have to be mounted on this one, mountain bikes in the front because of where the bar position, so the door will shut. I think I'm done. We got a hitch, we tow a trailer sometimes. Yeah, I don't think I would change anything necessarily on this thing. I think maybe Next time I would get the one that's like 2 feet longer.
Mm-hmm.
So we can maybe figure out how to shower in the van, not outside the van. Yeah.
Same setup, but just try to figure out how to put a shower in there.
Yeah. No, it's good. I'm happy.
He gets a lot of attention.
Happy racing.